Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Michigan Insider, Michigan.247sports.com. I'm Alejandro Zuniga with one final press conference recap ahead of Michigan's massive showdown with Texas here in Ann Arbor at Michigan Stadium, Saturday at 12:10 p.m. Eastern. It's Big Noon Saturday. ESPN's College Game Day is also going to be here. I'm sure you can hear some noises, some construction noises behind me as they are in part setting up that College Game Day setup over on Ferry Field here on campus at the University of Michigan. Spoke today to an offensive coach and a defensive coach. On the offensive side of the ball, we talked to Tony Alford, who coaches the running backs. On the defensive side, Brian Jean-Marie, the linebackers coach. Going to start on the defensive side of the ball this time simply because a lot of the focus this week has been on Texas's offense, obviously bringing in Isaiah Bond, Quinn Ewers, Blue, the running back, a lot of talented names across the board on that offense, plus returning offensive linemen. Brian Jean-Marie said the key for the linebackers this week is to not focus too much on the eye candy. That is, keep your eyes where they're supposed to be, make sure you know your keys. Don't get too distracted by all of Texas's pre-snap motion. They are a team that likes to move around a lot before the snap. Obviously, Michigan did something similar at the Rose Bowl last year, using their pre-snap motion to really show their keys, find out where they wanted to go on the offensive side of the ball, is to find the weaknesses in Alabama's defense. Something that Texas under Steve Sarkisian has done very, very well over the years, and the keys for Jayshon Barham, for Ernest Hausman, for Jimmy Rolder, eye discipline. Brian Jean-Marie spoke of Jimmy Rolder, who flashed during the Fresno State game, said that his best ability, as Jim Harbaugh has said many times in the past, is availability. Jimmy Rolder, of course, is someone who has been hurt a lot in the past. He literally knocked on wood, Brian Jean-Marie did, and said that Jimmy Rolder has been relatively healthy throughout fall camp. That has allowed him to improve a lot as a linebacker, to the point where he is considered among that starting group. He is the third linebacker in that rotation behind Hausman and Jayshon Barham, considered among the starters, much like Hausman was last year behind Michael Barrett and Junior Colson. To that point, though, Brian Jean-Marie said that when rewatching the film of the Fresno State game, one of the emphases for the Michigan coaching staff is to make sure that rotations on the defensive side of the ball are done smartly and appropriately. Last week against Fresno State, the touchdown that the Bulldogs scored to turn that into a 6-point game in the fourth quarter was a drive when a lot of second, third string players were on the field. Certainly Michigan would like to continue having a rotation. That was one of their superpowers, I'd say, last year, that kept them both healthy and able to defend some of the high-powered offenses at the end of the season. But coaches realize they need to be smarter with their rotations, particularly this week with Texas coming to town. On the offensive side of the ball, Tony Alford was very quick to say there is no panic within the Michigan locker room, no panic among the coaches, given Donovan Edwards' lackluster in some aspects performance against Fresno State. Donovan Edwards obviously had the early touchdown on a play-action pass from Alex Orji, but couldn't get going running the ball quite as much as Kalel Mullings was able to do. Tony Alford said one of the things he talked to Donovan Edwards about this week was something that Donovan Edwards himself has talked about all offseason, which is he likes to get into a rhythm. He likes getting multiple carries in a row. When he's not breaking big plays like he usually does, there's a bit of frustration. And so two things. Number one, do not overcompensate for that frustration. Stay within the confines of the offense. Pick up the yards that are available to you on every play. And number two is when things are not going the way you'd like them to be, remember you were voted a captain by your peers. Make sure that you are the leader on and off the field that you need to be for this Michigan football team. Again, though, no major concern with Donovan Edwards' performance. Expectation is for him to have a very productive game against the Longhorns this week. On Kalel Mullings, Tony Alford said a lot of what he does best are the little things. He noted that not only is he very good at picking up blitzes, he also carries out fakes very well. He noted on one of Alex Orji's big gains against Fresno State, part of the reason that was open is because Kalel Mullings carried out the fakes so well that a lot of defenders crashed around him instead of on the quarterback. Also noted how hard he ran, how physically he runs, something that will be important against a very athletic and physical Texas defense. And Tony Alford also gave a bit of a mea culpa, said that Ben Hall, one of the backup running backs, should have gotten into the game against Fresno State, said that he and Jordan Marshall have both earned snaps and hopes that both of them will get carries against Texas this weekend. Obviously, a lot more over at the Michigan Insider, michigan.247sports.com. In addition to stories from press conferences, interviews with coaches and players, detailed statistical analysis of this massive showdown between two top 10 Blue Bloods, and of course a big recruiting weekend on deck with these two programs. Big noon kickoff, ESPN Game Day. All eyes are going to be on Ann Arbor this weekend, and we've got you covered from top to bottom over at the Michigan Insider. For all of our staff, I'm Alejandro Zuniga. We'll see you at the Big House.